Hey friends, hi, Anthony Nitz here. Hey, so this is a March to remember, right? Lots of change, guys, lots of sitting and waiting. For some people, for other people, it's sort of business as usual, right? I guess if you're an essential business, or should I say business as unusual? I don't know. But look, I know I'm confident that we're going to get through this okay and get back to business just as usual. The thing that concerns me, the most, not the most, but it concerns me is March 28th was supposed to be Major League Baseball opening day.
The 1-1. That is out to deep left field. Hunter Pence is going to watch this one go. Big fly. 4-0 Angels.
Okay. I haven't checked. I'm sure somebody knows. Have they postponed the season? I'm going to guess that they probably have. Hey, text or call me or email or comment or something like that. Let me know because I want to know. I really would like to know what the plans are there for that. So, hey guys, it's fun helping buyers buy homes and sellers sell homes, guys. Actually super excited this month because I've been tracking the activity, and despite the current situation, homes are still selling. In fact, one of the agents on my team just told me, and this was just yesterday, that they had 5 offers on their house and open escrow in one day.
No way!
Sellers are still selling and buyers are still buying. That's the interesting thing about real estate. People still need to move no matter what the market or economy or health situation is. I remember sitting around, listening to the old timers back in the old days before I was an old timer.
When I was young.
And they would tell stories about how, when the interest rate was like 20% interest rate, people still bought homes because why? You know what? People there's people, they have how they need to move for whatever reason. They need to buy a house or they need to sell a house. It just happens. Everybody figures it out and makes it happen. And we just all adapt and learn to do it differently. In fact, many of you may not realize this, but eXp Realty, that's the company that I'm with. It's the only real estate company in the world that I know of that hasn't slowed down one bit because we're 100% virtual, baby. That's right. We are way ahead of the curve on all this, and it's sad because I've seen agents talking about how their brokers are calling them and saying that they're having to shut down their entire company. And I don't mean close it for a little bit, shut it down because they can't absorb the cost of the business, to continue on. And, like I said, it's heartbreaking. I know if I was an agent sitting there going, wow, the market, this whole COVID virus thing is really not only causing a problem with their business, but also now their brokerage is shut down. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Okay. But like I said, we're 100% virtual. I'm going to show you here. Actually, let me go to my other screen. So let's see. I think this is a class. Yeah, this is an actual class that is happening. I'm going to unmute so you can hear. So this is a class. They're just getting ready to wrap up. But look, you got people from Texas, Kansas City, all this. And these are all people, these are live people sitting in this virtual auditorium. Okay. And as a matter of fact, let me show you these are all little avatars. It's only showing these little stick figure people because my memory on my computer is being taxed. Record. Oh, here. Watch this. Oops, view avatar. Right, sitting in the classroom right there. That is so funny. Looks just like me. It looks like I lost a few pounds though, so that's pretty cool. Let me mute that. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. We are, out there doing business, not as usual, but as unusual, I guess you could say, right? And the cool thing is, like, we have the meeting rooms, we have the, our tons of training all day long. So if you're like if you're an agent, you're like, oh man, not only did my brokerage shut down, but now I have no training. I've got nothing to go to. You see, our classes are going on. I counted, and I think it was like I came up with 29 classes today. 29 classes, and they're going on as usual. Okay. And I'm just sharing this with you guys because I want you to understand there's a different way to do things. Okay. Sometimes you adapt, you figure things out. And these are all done. This is just what's being done in the world. There's a lot of other stuff being done being Zoom and all that stuff. So look, if you're looking to buy or sell, guys, there's ways to deal with it. Okay. Just let me know and let's talk about it. But in this temporary, brave new world, we are being asked to do things differently according to the governor's orders, which are right here. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. It basically says this for real estate agents. Realtors should cease doing all in-person marketing or sales activities, including showings, listing appointments, open houses, and property inspections. And I agree with that. Because, my wife, she is what we would consider high risk for getting this and having some serious complications because of her, some issues with her immunity and the medications that she's taking. And so I don't want to get that and pass it on, but there are ways to do all of these things. There are still ways to do all of these things. So let's, if you're in that situation, you need help, let me know. Let's take a look at some numbers here real quick. Okay. So I've been tracking all of March just to see what's going on. And I'll just leave this up here so you can kind of take a look and you'll see kind of where we're at for homes that are listed in March. If you just kind of go down here, the ones that are in red represent it's on a weekend. The numbers, when you see the chart, you'll see the numbers for weekends always kind of dip for listings, for pending contracts, as well as for closed sales, because closings typically aren't reported on a weekend. But the numbers are going down. But if you take a look, you'll see, and you could just see the numbers drop. In this last week, before this last week, it was just kind of running along par, right? If you compare it with 2019, it wasn't too far off, a little bit down. But this last week, has had a fairly significant drop for obvious reasons, right? We've been ordered to, stay in the house here. So let's take a look here, and we're comparing 2020 to 2019 just to kind of get a baseline, a snapshot. I want to see what's happening with the market. And if we go here, like I said, it's kind of 2020 is pink, 2019 is green. And, so it bounces back and forth. It's about the same. That's probably a week. This is probably a weekend. That's probably why it's not showing up. But during the few days during the week, roughly about the same. Here it's actually higher than there, a lot higher. And you can see going all the way up until the end of the week there is about the same. And then it just starts to drop off compared to 2019, right? I mean, these are, for obvious reasons, okay? People are not putting their home on the market because, well, they're concerned about, who's going to buy our house. But if we take a look at purchase comparison, yes, same thing. Blue is current 2020. The blue is showing, that there is a trend. Obviously, it's dropping down versus the 2019 activity. Okay. And so, when we're looking at this sort of stuff, there's actually, in my opinion, there's some good news coming out of this. But let's look at closed real quick. So closed for 2020. So current is blue. Okay. Now you're not going to have closings on the weekend. So while it shows blue and red here, like I said, this was a weekend in 2019 where this is a weekend in 2020. Okay. So you're not going to have reported closings, not typically on a weekend and through the MLS. Anyways, if you take a look at closings, they're kind of not doing too bad. Okay, not doing too bad when you run that comparison next to each other. Let's just take a look at it because I want to see. Oops. Okay, so if we take a look at closing comparison, 2020 versus 2019. So this is current. Again, if we're taking a look at the weekends, we got to kind of adjust that time. So this would be approximately about here. Okay, so when we had 81 closings on March 23rd, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, guys, considering where we're at. And so, and then today we had, what did we have? It didn't get transferred over, sorry. On closings today, we had, yesterday, we had 69. Okay, so again, when we go back to the closing comparisons, we take a look, and so that would have been about that. So it's about 30 less than what it should be for this time, of the month, considering the weekends. So so the numbers are dropping down. But what's the good news of this? What is the good news? The good news is that there's going to be a lot of pent up demand. There's going to be buyers ready to buy. If you're a buyer and you're ready to buy, what you should do now is you should get all your financing in order right now. Well, Anthony, the rates might change and this, that. No, that's not the point. The point is you get all your paperwork in. Call me. I'll help you with this whole process. Get the paperwork in. Get all your credit run. Get all your verification of employment, your verification of income, all your bank statements, all the stuff that you need to get approved for your loan. Because what's going to happen is when this thing turns, then all these houses are going to pop back on the market. Okay. Now, there's people asking me, Anthony, well, don't you think the market's going to crash? And I say, not for a second. Look, if this thing goes, more than, 2 months, then we might be, dealing with some issues, not from the standpoint of there's not demand for the housing, but from the standpoint of the demand, of the standpoint of people losing income. Okay. And when people are losing income and now they're getting behind a couple of months or a few months on their mortgage payment, it's kind of hard to recover from that. And so that could have some sort of effect on it for sure. But for the most part, there's by the way, if you're a homeowner and you don't know this, right now there is a plan being put in place through, I believe it's through HUD. If you go to HUD.gov, you can get an almost immediate forbearance on your mortgage for 12 months. 12 months. And what that means is all they do is they take 12 months worth of payments. They tack it right onto the back of the loan. Okay. And there's, my understanding is there's no cost and there's no additional, interest or anything like that that's added onto it as a result of that. I mean, obviously there's interest because you're paying, there's an interest rate tied to your loan balance, but all they're doing is deferring it to the end of the loan. So you can not make a payment for 12 months. Oh my gosh. I mean, who wouldn't take advantage of that, especially right now? And what could you take that money that you have and invest it in? Who knows? Anyway, second property, rental income. Okay, why not? So buyers, get your stuff ready. Call me and I'll help you get right through it. And I'll help you get with the lenders who are able to take care of this stuff for you. Okay. And get you set up so that when the market comes or when this whole thing lifts with the virus, we can get back out there and we can find those properties immediately for you. Sellers, good time right now to get ready. Like my wife is on a cleaning frenzy. Thank God I'm up here working, because I'd have to be helping. I help sometimes. Anyways, now's the time to get, the house really cleaned up, get it ready, fixed, repairs done, that sort of thing. There's still people out there in trades out there working, because according to the governor's order, part of it has to do with construction. And so some people are taking that term loosely and they're going, well, I'm a handyman. That has to do with construction. I don't know. But regardless of what it is, use precaution, be safe, and all that good stuff. So here's my question to you. What can I do to help you out this week? Okay. Guys, it's amazing how many people I interact with on a typical month. Some folks, they run great businesses at a high level, just like myself. So the next time you need something, such as someone to clean your pool, cut your dog's hair, clean your or help you with your taxes, paint the front door, help your kids with dyslexia. Got a great lady who does that. Install phone systems, whatever it is, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you find someone great, rather than to have, you find someone out of the blue and hope that it works out. In fact, who could I introduce you to right now this week that would be helpful to you and your family? Okay. So anyways, have a great rest of the March, and and as we roll into April, have a great April. Me and my wife have an anniversary coming up. So hopefully this whole thing's lifted by the time, that comes around. By the way, right now, I have time, guys, to help you if you're in the process or thinking about selling. Get yourself ready to get geared up to get going. Okay. If you're thinking about buying, help you get ready to get going right now so that when that time comes, then you are all ready to go. So, who do you know? Who's the first person that comes to mind? Is someone who's just as nice as you guys, who is even thinking of buying or selling. They might be looking for a bigger home, smaller home, bigger backyard, smaller backyard, less bedrooms or more bedrooms. Maybe they're even just anxious or worried about the current situation. They're frustrated or concerned or whatever. Maybe they want to move out of state, move to another country. I don't know, but who comes to your mind first? Please call me or text me with their info, and I'll be happy to follow up with them and, do a 10-minute consultation with them, on your behalf in a sense. And, just as a kicker, if you send anybody my way, I'll send you a brand new shiny roll of toilet paper. I don't know. Is there still value in that? Is everybody freaking out about that still? But no, I'll definitely thank you with all my heart. Guys, thanks for watching, and keep an eye out. I'm going to try and do some more updates like this as we get going. So take care. Have a great one.